Good afternoon. It's 1:01 p.m. on Saturday, May 11th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I did not just get up. I've been up for a couple of hours and avoiding doing this video just because various weird things I just dealing with, and like none of it's bad. It's just a matter of poking around and procrastinating and doing other things instead of this video, which in theory is supposed to be the first thing I'm doing, but whatever. I did definitely sleep in pretty significantly. Definitely my body needed it, not feeling especially well yesterday. I am feeling a little better today. I still got some of that congestion that I'm fighting off, but you know, that's how these things go. So I'm doing generally okay, although what I definitely need to do at some point today is, you know, get in a shower and then like go outside for a walk and get some fresh air or something. But what I felt like talking about today is just the banal but nonetheless infuriating is too harsh, frustrating difficulties of doing things with other people, and specifically for the reason that all these other people that supposedly it's so great to do stuff with have different schedules. And this is not, you know, if any of the people who know that I've been trying to schedule something with them are watching this, I'm not blaming anybody here. This is just a matter of the fact that trying to get a group of people to have a mutually open time is an ongoing difficulty in my life for everything that involves other people. So, you know, it's just one of those things. It's something everyone deals with if you ever try to organize something. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, well, time slot A works for person 1, 2, 3, and 4, but not 5. Time slot B works for persons 2, 3, 5, but not 1. Yeah. And it's, you know, but it's ultimately fine, but it's, you know, it's just one of the challenges. But generally speaking, in my experience, worth it, because doing things with other people is good most of the time. It's just that you have to get through that hurdle of adults with different schedules. But the reason that the title of this video also imagines some dwarfs to be scheduled is because I actually tried out for the very first time last night the video game Dwarf Fortress, which is notorious for using just ASCII text instead of graphics, and for having a user interface that is incredibly complex but also kind of obtuse. And it's basically just a simulation game of, you've got this little tribe of dwarves and they're building a fortress, and you have to have them like, okay, well, you have to build a masonry shop so that you can build a stone table so that you can put it in the dining room so that the dwarves will be happy that they can eat at a table and that sort of thing. And it's just very complex, and yet with this incredibly lo-fi aesthetic and user interface that I had heard a lot about. And part of its reputation is that if you can get past the gauntlet of the graphics and the user interface, it's just this incredibly complex, kind of mystifyingly complex simulation game that frequently has people lose their entire tribe of dwarves in hilarious ways, like so-and-so gets bit by a werehorse, and on the full moon goes on a rampage and kills everybody in the food processing area, and that leaves the door blocked, so now people can't get out to go hunting, and then they all starve to death, and that sort of thing. Like, you know, like that's an imaginary one, but it's pulled from bits and pieces that I have seen other people talk about. And so I tried it a little bit last night, and I was just running kind of through a tutorial that was on the Dwarf Fortress wiki, and so I had it set to like a very easy mode just to like learn the controls and everything. And so in the time that I spent playing last night, nothing hilarious happened. Although there was a bit where clearly I don't understand something about how stairways are built down to different levels, because in trying to expand a stairway, I somehow made it into a stairway that the dwarves wouldn't use. And so I realized all of a sudden that, hey, they're all just hanging out in the meeting room. Why are they not doing any of the other things I've told them to do? And they're not, I want this one to go mine and I want that one to go fish, but they're all just hanging out in the meeting room, even though they're now starting to complain that they're hungry. And I'm like, what? What's the problem here? And then I literally had to have them build another stairway in the exact same room because they don't like the first stairway anymore for some reason. I did something to it that I'm not sure why that's the problem, but yeah. So then I build this other stairway in the other room, in the same room, and they all immediately use that stairway, and it's like, whew, that was a close one. It's like, okay. So it's a weird game, but interesting. But it did very much feel on brand or of a piece with the difficulty of scheduling real life activities with other people whose schedules do not align with yours. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes when it will be Sunday. So I will be continuing my rewatch of Gravity Falls with Season 2, Episode 4. So talk to you then.